Welcome back to the next this power pack video as well. And I'm going to share you a deep down case study and to ensure and to understand that how exactly the power of business model works and how exactly the power of business model works with the right essence as well, right? You got the thumbnail correctly equally as well that everything everywhere every business segment for that matter, it is always the business model which makes it all the difference, right? Hi, this is Avek's business coach and consultant equally as well, and I'm in the mission right now to build better business, better life for business owners like you, and being the founder of Better Business, Better Life, and help you to build your business and scale your business to the next level equally as well. Having been in my own journey and then surrendering to all my being in my own journey for businesses and then surrendering to all my global mentors in the space of businesses and life. That's what has made it all the difference, right? So stay to the end of the video because towards the end I'll share also some of the power pack gifts as well, which will help you to understand this entire difference altogether. So yes, like I was sharing when it comes to building it right and building the right business model, what really matters is to ensure that you have the right business model in place equally as well. So I'll going to clearly share you a very strong case study in terms of mm, travel industry as such, where probably you would understand that how probably for any industry for that matter how business model can make a whole lot of difference. So this has more to do with the starting journey of is my is my trip, right? And the way that started is not to do with any sort of funding or VC or anything as such. It was just all bootstrap, and today it's a big IPO level organizations equally as well, which has scaled to such level. Now, just to share how exactly the journey went on and how business model plays a very critical role to understand, right? So initially, the challenge of the travel industry back in 2012, 13, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, so this is all based on all the the virtual interviews that's went on and the learning that I had from there. So probably, like I was mentioning, like I'm sharing the same. So how it went on was very simple. So back then, the year that has been mentioned, all they started was very simple. It was all bootstrap, and they just started solving the biggest problem of the agents of travel industry, which is more to do with commissioning and the earning part of it. So what I mean by commissioning and earning part, so essentially it is basically for airlines industry the biggest challenge then was agents were not used to get the right commission by the airlines, right? So what they did was to solve the burning problem of the agent, right? Remember, we always talk of solving the burning problem of the market. So that's exactly what the agent the is my trip did, which is in spite of big travel players like in the market like EVO, clear my trip and make my trip and all that stuff. So what they did was very simple. They just ensure that they spread out their distribution channels. In short, they cater to more and more agents to individual flights and airlines for that matter. So what happened was for a single unit of airlines, there used to be like multiple agents that gets rolled out because of such business model. So which is more of a channel distribution that they started for every airline. So in turn, the airlines used to give them a better commissioning more than 3-4%, which extend to almost 6%, 7% as such at times as well. So what they did was they give the maximum takeaways to all the agents, right? So instead of lower margins, which the airlines used to offer them, so they give the maximum margins to all the agents. It's like almost if Is My Trip used to get 6%, and probably they used to give almost 5% of the margins to the back to the agents, and probably 1 or 1.5% to operate and manage all the operational costs, the cash flows, the marketing budget aspects, uh, the technicalities, the technology, and all that stuff. Say the sales, right? So to manage it as well. So that's where initially the business scale happens, and with this they scale up to a very high level, wherein they were able to operate at a very uh, high scale level with different with different segments and different cities as well. But that's why not they stopped, because scale did happen with this business model when they ensured that it was more of a channel distribution at a B2B level. However, with this scale, with the tight margins that they used to have, which is my chip was making out of it, was not sufficient enough to make that cash flow out of it and to make it profitable, in short, precisely to share. So what they did, the next level was again a very massive action, which was all to do with they went from a B2B business model to a B2C business model, which is more of a business to consumer. So it's basically pivoting the business model at every stage and understanding that what is going right and what is going wrong. So when they go from a B2B to a B2C business model, miracle happened, because when you actually reach out to end consumers, consumers have hardly to take any margins for that matter, right? Probably a 1 to 1.5%, even if you give to any single consumers, like that's more than sufficient. So which means they used to they used to have the maximum. Is my tip used to have the maximum takeaways in terms of margins. It's like almost 4%, roughly, approximately, right? In the second business model, which is more to do with business to consumers. And this makes all the difference. I mean, which is this also ensures no commission and convenience fee to consumers also, and which entails has given them a very high profit in terms of the business model. The next big thing that they did to ensure that the profitability remains and they were able to scale it sustainably was is my team evolved with variation segment of product lineup. Okay, so when I say product lineup, what I mean by that is initially they were more into flight business operations, right? But later, as a travel service provider, or an agencies, they cater to all the segments of in the industry when it comes to travel as such. So whether it is to do with flight, hotel operations, booking, or train booking, bus booking, even cab booking for that matter. So they actually came up with all the line of segment of product, which actually diversified their portfolio in terms of in terms of capitalizations and profitability equally as well. Because what happened is they were able to earn that same level of income and all that through all the diverse sources, right? And this actually ensured that the brand positioning went up high, because what they typically focus on the ground was two single, you know, was two level impact. So one was brand positioning, which had so they ensure that the brand positioning goes high with effort to two single parameters. So one was high efficiency, and the second was personal discipline, or discipline for that matter. So when I talk about high discipline, what I refer that by that is to serve the end customers or clients by making money. So the perspective or the ideologies was always to serve better the client, and day by day more better, how best they can serve. And also the efficiency, which also ensure that they were able to make it more happen, right? So the theme was so it was more to do with the right product variation, like I mentioned, and with right efficiency and discipline. That's where came the real magic in terms of profitability and the right business model equally as well. Because the first thing that they did is they target the right audience, so they changed it from a B2B business model to a B2C to a B2C consumer base. And the second miracle that they did was they evolved with a product based, better product market, I mean, more range of products, innovations, and services, which allows them to to propagate the cash flows management and business sizes and all that stuff. Because that helps them to make it more better and more effective equally as well, right? The third thing that they did better was like I mentioned, that their core propaganda was that their core message was to serve the end audience and then to make money, right? So what they did in time when there was COVID 1 and COVID 2. So initially during COVID 1, they use a lot of their cash reserves money to pay back to their clients and audience, to their customers, in terms of booking getting cancelled and all that stuff. The second thing, in terms of the COVID two, when the lockdown two came during that point of time, miracle action they took was to pay back the audiences or the customers if there is any ticket cancelling happened because of the medical restrictions and all the awareness that was going through. They took a call of paying back the customers immediately and instantly, without even charging the customer concession fees and all that stuff. So that has made a huge difference in the entire space when it was more of an experience at that point of time, thinking about the end consumers and addressing those firefight situations and adapting to the level that they can to make it more agile in the market and more warm personal touch friendly with the customers equally as well. Yeah. And then there was no look back, and then probably with that they scaled to a bigger level and they were able to make it big time. So three conclusions that were drawn out was one of the end customer experience that it did during the COVID times. Second was the evolvedness of the product and services as well, and the third was just to ensure that they change their audiences from a B to a B2C business to consumer, for that matter, right? So these are clear indications that even for a company to go from a bootstrapped based foundation capitalization to an IPO based model today, is a strongly successful travel partner across not only in India, across group as well, wherein uh, they are one of the top ranked in the travel space and they have their own name. The only reason to do that is purely working on the business model every time, with adaptations, with new strategies, and with new inventions. So the core message is you can do a lot of marketing. Probably you can do your sales channels go high. You can try a lot of ways out to make your cash flows highs as well. But if you don't have the right business model, okay, which is the combination of the right product, which brings a huge impact to the end audience, to the right audiences, uh, right target audiences, and the right price points. That's where it makes a lot of difference, right? So if you understand the second side point, the second phase when they change it to a B2C, then the price margin also is something that they were really concerned and they took it to a very high level because when they shift from a B2C, from a business to business to a business to consumer, they were also able to afford their margins equally very high as well. Yeah. So that's the power, when it comes to uh, you know really impacting and concentrating on the right business model and making a difference. Yeah. So with that, we come to the end of this video as well. And like I was sharing with you that if you stay till the end, then probably I'm going to share some power pack insights. So So ensure that you download the gift link shared below as well. With the help of this, you will be able to get all the Pop-Up videos as such way forward, which will equally help you to address your burning business issues. And also join my Facebook link being shared, and join my private Facebook group and link as shared equally as well, so that you are able to get the best out of it and get the best experience, right? So with that, a big signing off here as of now, and do share your comments, learnings, and takeaways, which will help you to address your business issues equally as well. Look forward for the next video where I'll be again sharing such power pack game changer videos equally as well. Till then, I will signing off here as of now. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.